Everywhere you look.
I'm waiting. Oh, legal snags.
Oh, can I not sing the Fuller House theme song?
You can sing the Fuller House theme song, but
Everywhere you look, everywhere. It's the same as the Full House theme song.
it is, but it's a lot more cheerier.
It's sung. I think it's sung by like Ariana Grande or some shit. Like I was looking, I'm like, it's sung by like
I
some.
highly doubt that.
It was sung by some celebrity. Anyway, I'm on season 4 of that already. What about that, huh? I watched
Wild, bro.
regular Full House, and now Fuller House, which I was very hesitant on. But it's not bad. It's not bad at all. I'm actually like into it now. I'm invested in Fuller House, which is weird. And yeah, it's sung by Carly Rae Jepsen. She's kind of popular, right?
Yeah, Carly Rae Jepsen.
Yeah. I prefer the original though. But did you watch Fuller House?
I did.
What'd you think of it? Don't spoil the ending. But what'd you think?
The entire thing is about how Steve and DJ are still awkward with one another, and it's annoying because they're like 40.
Yeah, because like I'm on season 4 and it's still Steve and DJ trying to fucking make it.
Like, guys, this has been going since like 92. Chill the fuck out. Like,
Speaking of making
this is just the longest bullshit ever.
Oh god! But speaking of making it, we have made it to episode number 71 of the Backstage Boys podcast. This is Trent Lock, my co-host,
Basil.
and we are here to talk about whatever has come up. I mean, there really isn't much, but there is some, and we're just gonna it's more of a touch base, Basil. We haven't done this in a bit, so
there's not much indie wrestling happening. We've had one indie show in Chicago. We've had one in Crown Point that I wasn't able to attend.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I've just been working at Impact. I've been doing my thing over there. We've taped like 80,000 episodes, so I have no idea what's where.
You are the photographer for Impact since pandemic. You were doing it anyway, but like pandemic, you have done all the empty arena shows since.
Like, it's funny because we'll have matches that are announced that I've watched and edited and uploaded and given to Impact. Can't remember them because I've put so, like, during these tapings, I just go into autopilot mode and just it's so many edits, so many promos, so much ringside, and it's one after another, and I'm just like, oh yeah, we did have that match. Like I've edited. Rhonda, do you want to come in? Do you want to say hi to Trent? You don't want to say anything to Trent?
She's not going to be on the podcast. Get on the podcast.
She says hi. No, get on the podcast.
My brother.
What was that?
He stole my brother.
Yeah.
You can have him.
Do you want that mask?
No.
What mask?
No, there's like a whole pile of masks. And no, you can. The Cubs one you gave me.
I'm the one I gave you.
I know. This is my sister.
These are the crazy witches.
Basil's sister.
Yeah, I wore that black one in Tessa's wedding in Mexico.
Wow.
We could talk about that too.
We'll talk about Tessa's wedding. I'm sorry, guys. This is just how we're going.
This is a cameo.
Bye, podcasters.
Bye, Rhonda.
Audience.
Bye, Rhonda. This is Rhonda's debut on the podcast. Is that her first podcast?
No, that's like her second.
Everybody
Yeah, so
out,
my mom thought the lyrics to Everybody Dance Now was Everybody Sit Down.
Everybody sit down.
Bless her soul. Bless her soul. I love my mom. My mom is she's been singing that for like the last hour. It's fantastic.
Everybody sit down.
My mom is so pissed right now. She's arguing with my sister because she knows we're recording the podcast, and she goes, "Why are you saying that while he's on the podcast?"
That's amazing. That is fantastic.
This is beautiful. They're legit. They're shoot arguing right now.
That's awesome. Put it on the show.
No. So yeah, it's so many shows that we've taped.
Mm-hmm.
We're taped all the way through October until Bound for Glory.
And you've been there 3 times since, right? You went down
Four. No, this was number 4.
4? You went so
Yeah.
you first one was late May, wasn't it? What was the first one?
No, April.
No,
First week of
April because of
April.
Rebellion. Yeah, you were supposed to go for Rebellion. That's
It
right.
was we taped first week of April.
Which is
Um,
amazing because that's right at the beginning of this. Like
yeah, dude, that took some balls.
that took
Like
balls for everybody. Like
that
you
took
got
major balls to do that. I'm not
and,
gonna lie.
and the fact that they got essential status quick, like they applied for it fast, and
Yeah.
they were able to get you guys your clearances fast. But that one, only about half the roster showed up. Remember, like for those 6 weeks, it was very
Oh,
focused
dude,
on everybody else.
it was a very light. It was a very, very light crowd, so or light staff, so to speak.
But do you feel? Let me ask you this, now. This is actually a good question. Do you feel that because it was a light roster, all those people got more time to shine? Like, look at
Everybody who was in that first set of tapings is, in my opinion, feeling the benefits because a lot of them have had storylines branch off from those initial tapings.
yeah,
So
like Willie comes to mind right off the bat.
Willie,
Ace,
Bay, Swinger,
yeah,
Trey, Ace,
like the Trey and Ace rise is literally due to that taping that kind of like started them off into like towards what became a main event for them.
yeah,
I still I,
100%.
I still think it's a trip to me though. Like Ace and Trey got the main event slam, which I think is fantastic when you really think about it. Like, it's just like, man, I would that have happened had everything gone the way it was supposed to at
Dude, who
Rebellion?
knows? I
You know
mean,
what I mean?
the thing is that was, I mean, I'm honestly trying to remember those set of tapings because like like I said, I've had 4 sets of tapings. I've been doing this now, I mean, April all the way through October. I mean, we're talking about this is 6 months worth of TV that I've crammed in my head
Mhm.
in these last few months. So I'm just trying to process everything again. But I don't know if they would have because they easily could have because I know that was like the plan. I mean, because remember you got Elgin that was supposed to be in that main event.
Which, in my opinion, I felt he was set to take it and go with it.
100%. I felt like it was gonna be like a year to the day,
It
and
was so built up. But no, but he still lost at Rebellion, right? They still didn't change it at Rebellion.
well, because remember Rebellion
They held it
was
up.
there was no it was that was the introduction of the TNA World Championship.
Right. And then they were basically gonna like build it to Slam as what was gonna happen.
Well, I don't know for a fact. This isn't this because I haven't seen pen to paper and I haven't talked. But in my opinion, this if Tessa was to come back, in my opinion, the smart thing to do would have been a unification match at Bound for Glory,
Right, right.
which I thought would have been regardless of whoever was Impact champion. But this was also before we had all the WWE releases that happened. So
Right.
those also significantly changed the Slammiversary plans because we taped and then people got released.
Yeah. That's
Because
true.
wait, did they get released in March? No, they got released in
April.
April and we
Yeah.
already taped in April and then all of that happened and then we did the build up after Rebellion to um to Slammiversary because we had Rebellion set, TV tapings, Slammiversary, TV tapings.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's how it went. Because I think, oh, I'm trying to think because we did April, We did May.
Mm-hmm.
We did July. And we did
Yeah, because you did April,
April,
May,
May,
July.
July, and August.
Yeah. So you've been, wow, holy shit. That's interesting, man. But yeah, it's interesting how, because of how the pandemic dictated so many things like Tessa, the pay-per-view, the releases, like all this shit got set in motion. But I gotta give it to him for making the best of a lot of this stuff. But I feel like, light tape people not being able to travel, and then on top of that, you had the speaking out thing come out, and that took out a few people from the roster. Things changed, man. Like you changed the course on a lot of stuff, and that definitely set the tone for a lot of different things. And I'm very shocked. I'm very interested in like how this all pans out for the end of the year. Like it's been very interesting to see so far, and it's like, man, as things kind of set back to open, things ease up. Do we kind of reincorporate certain plans? Do we shift into a new thing? I mean, it's kind of cool at the same time that it's kind of like, damn, threw a lot of things off, but man, it's been really cool at the same time. I've enjoyed it though. I've enjoyed seeing what happened. But
I've really enjoyed. I feel like a lot of the changes that have happened have been for the better.
hmm
I've enjoyed the product more personally
yeah,
this summer than I have normally.
yeah, especially because production has done a great job shooting
Yeah,
it,
dude.
presenting it.
Well,
You know,
it's been nice because um, I can't talk about too many different things, but I've been a lot more involved with production, with helping them out. Like, for example, the Katie Forbes, Sammy Callahan thing.
hmm
So um, I shot those Katie Ford promos and I shot those Sammy faces the day we did. It was like a day or two, maybe. I think it was like one day in between, or maybe that same day
hmm
that we put them up on the screen. It might
hmm
have been. I think it was one day we did the turnaround time, but like it's great getting feedback or having or production is using photos a lot more with part of the storyline
yeah,
with a lot of things like um you'll see. I mean, there's a wrestler who recently came back. I mean, that's about it. That's about all I'll say. Where photos were very important, and it was great to do something with that you guys, I don't know when it'll air. Honestly, guys, like my mind is so fried. I have no idea what's airing when anymore, just because of how between everything at Impact and everything that's going on at my shoot job with all the changes, I can't keep track of anything anymore. So it'll be a lot of good stuff. You'll see a lot of photos on Impact TV itself that I took. So I'm very proud about that. And I'm happy that production trusts me with these projects to shoot for TV, photo wise. You still there, Trent? I think we lost Trent.
wait, no, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, how about now?
Yeah, yeah,
There
yeah.
we are.
I can hear
All
you.
right, it's my
I can
bad,
hear
man.
you.
Fucking yeah, this is why I need a computer. I I,
This
I
is
I hit I hit mute to like sneeze, and then like like Skype like froze, and I'm like panicking trying to unmute it real quick.
And I just got your text message.
I was
Keep
like, keep
talking.
talking. I'm
I
glad
was
you
like,
were going on and on with it. I was like, keep fucking talking.
and then I was waiting for your reaction because I usually
Like,
know when you chime in at certain parts.
you're
But
like, are
no,
you there?
what I was just saying is I'm glad the Impact production team trusts me because there's a lot of stuff we came up with on the fly that we're gonna use on TV, and they said I did a good job, and I was like, cool. So
You work closely with like the graphics team, right? Who does all the graphic stuff with your photos?
graphics team, and also with Eric Tompkins and Sahadi, lately. It's been a lot of pitching ideas together. So
I was just telling the guys on Total Nonstop Impact that I wanted to get Tompkins and Sahadi on the show because like nobody really interviews them, and they're like such unsung heroes of the company, and those guys are amazing at what they do. I
yeah,
would love
man.
to get those guys on for
Tompkins would be great. Even if we bring Tompkins on for something like this,
Yeah,
I think
I'd love to
Tompkins
talk
for
Tompkins.
something like this would be perfect, actually.
Yeah, he's such a cool guy, and people, he's out there a little bit more now, and he's on Twitter and stuff. He gets out there, show days especially. He'll be out there a little more, but
We didn't get hit, dude. We were so busy these set of tapings, we weren't able to get his normal championship photo with whoever he marks out with, whoever's the champion.
well,
We always joke about that.
his tweet was funny because after Eric Young beat Eddie, he's like, "Great, what am I supposed to do with this profile picture now?"
And then I
Because
said, I'm like, bro, I hit you, dude. I literally hit him up every single day, but we were so busy these set of tapings. It's not even how much we crammed in 4 days is insane.
yeah, oh yeah, you guys
It
got a
was
lot done.
There's so much done these 4 days. So I'm very proud about it. I'm happy. Um, I'm
It's
excited for Bound
phenomenal
for
work.
Glory.
The
I'm
company
very
is.
excited for Bound for Glory.
Oh yeah, I can imagine, and they are doing an empty arena, right? There's no talk of anything else.
We're still doing well. It's still gonna be Nashville.
Okay.
So I'm assuming for the rest of the year at this point because we're indoors. We don't have an outdoor arena. So like
hmm
AEW has the one advantage over everybody with having an outdoor arena that they own.
It's like an open air
Um,
arena, right? Like that helps big time.
it's completely open air. They're only doing 10%. They can spread them out enough to do socially distanced stuff. Um,
Let,
WWE can only do Thunderdome because
let me
they
let me
can't.
get your opinion on that real quick. The Thunderdome. What do you think about that? I was having this
Okay,
conversation with somebody today.
so I've watched Thunderdome on purpose. Because anytime there's a new idea in wrestling, regardless of whatever company is doing it, I like to watch just to
Yeah.
give it. I'm not a fan of WWE's main product per se. But I really wanted to see Thunderdome, and WWE gave me a free subscription for a month because they were like, "Please watch," and I was
Please
like,
come in.
"Eh."
Please tell us you love it.
So I watched Payback in its entirety, um, live when that happened on Sunday, and I think I watched like a SmackDown or something like that. Or it just, I love the production value. The production value cannot be touched. Like there's not even like a close second to WWE's production value when it comes to the Thunderdome.
Which has been their thing, right? They've always been the most progressive
They've
in
always been the
production.
top. Yeah, they've always been the leading when it comes to production.
Yeah.
Um, the thing that fucking kills me, and it's just like the NBA. And MLB is the generic crowd noise that plays consistently for the entire show. Like
Mm,
there's no extra pop, there's no extra boo, there's no extra cheer, there's no reaction during the match. It's just like a static crowd noise, and it kills it for me.
mm-hmm.
Um, but it's nice to see them in a regular arena again because the PC was killing it for me. Because that's not the WWE feel. It's not like Impact, where Impact has always had intimate arenas.
Yeah.
It's not that big of a deal. But WWE tried so many different things that you notice the changes all the time.
Oh, for
Where
sure.
AEW had, they had the Atlanta thing, but that was like at the very beginning, which it wasn't that big of a deal because Florida laws weren't set yet. And um, then ever since they've been in dailies, it's fine because it feels like you hear people reacting normally. So in my opinion, it's not that big of a deal. But it's been nice this week to hear fans singing Judas for Jericho's theme and stuff like that again, and hearing reactions and whatnot.
It is.
I just like hearing the reactions. Like I either want no reaction or I want to hear a real reaction. This
I,
fake piped in stuff kills me.
yeah, the Thunderdome looks interesting. I've seen the clips only, and I'm like, it's kind of an interesting thing. You know, I know they've had little glitches with it. People putting like Chris Benoit was at the show the other day. You know, shit like that.
Yeah,
Um,
see, like the thing is with that, to me, bullshit. Like those fans are fucking ruining it for the people that like, regardless of what anybody ever thinks of WWE as a company, like they don't have to put. They could have put a giant screen of fans from shows. You know what I mean?
absolutely,
Like,
absolutely.
why ruin it and
For everybody else.
for everybody else by trying to fuck with these things? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
I
what
agree.
is the purpose?
Speaking from a production standpoint, um, just like my production experience and just what I look at it like it is such a opportunity to try something new and then also like give us some sort of a semblance of, hey, there's fans here. They're at least like their faces are here. We're trying to give you, because everybody's big complaint was, like the no fan thing kills me. It's like, okay, cool, here's fans. Yes, it looks like you're literally playing a digital game of Guess Who, like everybody's like out a little square, but it was it was bright. But I'm looking at it more from a performer standpoint. Like I can imagine the guys and girls going out there and just seeing people, and it's like it almost motivates you to like talk to the crowd because that's a in a way it's a crowd, right? And you kind of feed off of it. I imagine there's some part of that. So let me ask you this: has the Impact roster expressed that at all? Like, man, it's really hard without a crowd, or like, are they just feeding off each other? Have they got into a groove where it's like now we just know how to do the performance?
Do you
We're
know
we're
what? It's hard when so the one thing I've heard is when you mess up, it's easy to feed off the crowd and try to smooth to something else. But when there's no crowd, there's nothing to feed off of. So they just kind of they will get in their own head sometimes. Um
mm,
so it's hard sometimes for them to get out of it. Plus we're like these shows tape early. Like we're not taping shows at the normal 7 o'clock at night, guys. Like we're doing tapings at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, going all the way until 10 o'clock at night sometimes.
yeah, which is nuts. Which is nuts.
The only time we've been live has been Slammiversary, and Slammiversary was straight live to TV. Like there was no delay. There probably was like a 3 to 5 second delay possibly, but there was no like um it wasn't like a tape delay like an hour behind or some shit. Like that was
Hmm.
straight live. And
Yeah,
everybody performed really well. They felt that pressure again. And I feel like wrestlers do better with pressure.
yeah. Oh, no doubt, no doubt. You just kind of you need. That's why live always has that buzz you can't replicate, right? It's just something about being live that just brings out the best. Um, but I gotta give it to him, man. It's not easy to do empty arena, and it's not easy to naturally feed off of nothing. So I give it to the Impact roster for pulling that part out for sure. But no, it was an interesting concept. I know some people really hate it. I took it more like I felt it was progressive because it was out of the box thinking, and I can always appreciate somebody thinking out of the box, especially in a time where it's like, man, all you have are ideas right now. Like all you literally have are like fresh ideas that you can try because nobody else has anything else to work with. So it's like be progressive or fucking fall behind. That's all you can do right now.
Yeah.
And I think each company, each TV company for that matter, has done some level of it. They've all found a way to find their niche, which I think is pretty awesome because like Impact has found an amazing way to shoot the show tight, and they shoot it in a way they set up the lights where you kind of almost stop focusing on the empty arena. So they've done that. They've capitalized there. WWE with the Thunderdome, AEW with the open air concept and the 10% fan. So it's like everybody's doing something. I'd be curious what Ring of Honor does. They're coming back. They taped already, I believe, too, right? Did you hear anything about them?
Yeah, they taped 2 weeks ago in Baltimore.
Did they do any fans or anything, or did they do
No
roster?
fans. No
Straight
fans.
empty. Mm.
Straight empty.
It's gonna be interesting how
I
this comes
believe
off.
MLW is doing a reboot for Empty as well.
Okay, so the other ones are all kind of going empty. Well,
Hmm.
I think Impact has shown you that if you set up your arena right, it takes away from the empty arena. You start looking at it like to me when I watch Impact now, it's like I watch theater. When I go to like the Chicago theater, like a stage show, right? I'm going to like see a play. That's just a stage that I'm seeing now, and I'm on the audience side, so I'm on the fourth wall, and I think that's
Yeah.
cool. That's kind of cool, interesting because they shoot that hard cam more often than anything. How now? That soundstage is small. Like you said, it's not huge. Like you cannot fit fans in there. So it's straight soundstage setup, right? So it is pretty tight.
It is. It's this new arena that these tapings were in, um that this set of tapings were in was fantastic in my opinion.
Oh, they
This
went to a
was
different one, like a different
we
soundstage.
changed, yeah, we changed sound stages, and this was
Interesting.
my absolute, out of all of them, all of the ones that we've done, um this was my the whole setup for everything was perfect
Gotcha. Okay.
because um so my promo station has been in the same spot for like the last 3 tapings,
Hmm.
and I'm shooting promos. Like all these promos that you guys are seeing, I'm shooting within 2 to 3 minutes in between matches.
Nuts.
So and then I'm hearing Johnny Bravo going, "Okay, guys, 7, 6," and I'm like, "Fuck, I gotta go run and shoot this." So I
Oh
take the lens
shit.
off my one camera, put it on my other one, just run straight out there, and then the way how we have the curtain set up on the left side is on the other side, that's like Gorilla, that's my promo station. So I just run right to it and I sneak in. So even if I'm a little late now, I can sneak in behind under the jib cam, and then
Hmm.
I just walk up and I get my shot. It made it so much better, the set of tapings. Like it was a lot easier for me and Kevin because Kevin typically will just stay by my promo area. Like we make like a whole kind of like, I do like a whole little editing station and seats and stuff like that, just so I have somewhere to sit down.
And for those who don't
But
know, we're talking Kevin Martin. He's a production guy at Impact.
yeah, fantastic production dude, hard ass worker. So
Super nice guy, and all around nice ass guy. The dude is just like classic nice guy.
yeah,
That's cool. Now Kevin Martin's a good dude. That's awesome though, man. It's like I said, it's been very for me to review, like me and the team doing it on TNI. So obviously we're analyzing these things from a different light as well. But as from a fan perspective, I feel like they have done an incredible job producing this show, given the circumstances. So hopefully things open up. They get back to live and they get back to rolling. My thing was though, not just them, but all the companies. When you perform for no fans and you have to perform for your bosses who are watching and your colleagues, it drives you even more to have to be perfect because you're not feeding off the raw energy, the raw reaction. You have to be more. You're more like fine tuned, and you
all
have
I'm
more time.
saying,
Mm.
all I'm saying is I hear everything, and I might take that good advice, and I might have given it to some wrestlers. Maybe, maybe not. Most likely, yes.
Hey, listen, I think it's good, man. Either way, I think we're gonna come out. Wrestling will come out better as a result of the pandemic. As crazy as that sounds, quality in terms of top tier performances is going to come out better. Like the people who actually get it and who actually are taking advantage of this time. You see it. There's certain performers you see their improvement immediately. Like they're taking such good advantage of it. And you're like, yeah, these guys get it because you're seeing it in their performance already. And I think it's gonna just come. It's gonna work itself out pretty nice
It
once
is,
we're.
and there's been a lot of acting and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah. Like the acting's where where it's going to benefit people's promo ability, their facial
Wrestle
reactions.
House. That's all I
Wrestle
need to say
House.
is Wrestle House, man.
Man, I love the finale of Wrestle House was fucking incredible. The
You like
triple
that? You like that?
oh my god, I laughed, laughed like the triple XL Deaners match. I was like, what, quote unquote match was fucking ridiculous. Like,
Dude, no
what the
truce.
no truths. AC Romero, man, not only did he lose 100 pounds during the pandemic, but he's been hilarious. Like, I never knew he had it in him, man. Like, I can't wait to work with him when we get back to AEW. Like,
Yeah.
I'm so looking forward to working with Ace Romero. Because
Dude,
I've only produced him one time. Maybe not even. I don't think I ever produced him, actually. And I'd love to now. I'm like, man, this guy really honed his chops. He stands out for me.
He stands out. Jake stands out for sure.
Oh, my God. Cody Daner. Even Larry
My
D.
Larry, no.
Lawrence Delicious.
Lawrence Delicious. My favorite thing this week is when Deaners and Triple XL were fighting and then Tommy just casually says, "Yeah, match time."
Yeah, that's time.
Match time. But
That's
yeah,
time.
all that kind of stuff has been fantastic.
Oh, it's been great.
It's been crazy because like I said, there's still very few of us actually working. Like now we have Mouse, Grasso, Earl, Ian, Watson. They've been getting some shoots in. But I mean, it was for the longest time it was just me, Speedy, and Lee. Lee South, who is the AEW's ringside photographer. Speedy is AEW's portrait photographer.
Yeah.
It was just us for a while, and it was just like we're on this island of just like
Pretty much, yeah.
and we kept in contact, just seeing how things were going between both places.
And just the
But
fact that
yeah,
you guys were covering so much, and so Lee South and Speedy are AEW. Who's WWE's main photographer? Like, who does their stuff? Do you know
so
who it is?
there's a few, yeah, there's a few of them. The Rich Friedman, who's been there since like ever, since like the 90s. He's still there. There's a few people who have been on their social media team and stuff like that have been shooting. They're not utilizing their full social media team because of how little events they're working, and they're not doing multiple tours.
Mm-hmm.
Because they went down to like one. They went from basically everybody at once to like just one. They just need one crowd, or just one crew.
Yeah.
So, let me see who else has been.
Who's that?
Anthony Carrillo,
Okay.
is a WWE photographer, as well.
And where
I'm
do
trying to
these guys
think of
come
who
from? Like, I
else.
never heard of some of these guys. Where were they? Are they just long-time WWE guys?
Yeah, they're just I mean, WWE guys don't get individual credit too much unless
Yeah.
it's from the wrestler.
And they only work the one company as opposed to some of you
Yeah,
guys who've
they
done
only
other
work the one
ones.
company, and it's not. I'm not saying like WWE wrestlers don't credit. Um, they just it's just that machine of there's so many photographers. They don't have that same.
It's not personalized because of that. It's so big. There's lack of personal touch and like crediting the
Yeah,
photographer and
but
all
it's
that.
not like they don't know them. Like they do know them, but it's just you know what I mean. It's
It's not
not the
part of the
same thing.
protocol to credit them on that side of
Yeah,
it.
they
Yeah.
do though. They do. There's certain wrestlers, Mustafa, Seth Rollins. I've always seen credit. Who else? Uh, Shinsuke Nakamura. He credits a lot. That I see. So it's not typical protocol over there, but Impact and AEW, it's they do a lot of, they don't do the ringside because Lee doesn't have social media, but
Mm-hmm.
everybody always credits Speedy when for the portrait shots. So it's
Lee
been
South
great
is
for,
a
huh?
long time guy. Lee South was,
Dude,
man, he was
Lee is
doing
such a good
TNA
dude.
back then.
He gave me so much advice on the dates that I've worked at AEW and stuff like that. So
He was very known for doing like especially with the women. He would do those theme shoots, like base
trust me, dude,
sports. He,
I want to do theme shoots. It's
I
just the
I was gonna
time
ask
and
you.
the resources.
Yeah.
Like there's been talk about it. It's just anybody who's listening who actually who does care about those shoots, they have been discussed more and more. Um,
Because you have to front the theme stuff, right? Like you as the photographer would have to front all the gimmicks,
no,
right?
I'm not fronting no gimmicks. I don't.
No, like
They can.
if you're offering a theme shoot, like not the
No, no, no.
company.
So no, 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 no. The company would pay for all that stuff. I'm not paying for all those gimmicks.
If the company want, but like no, I mean like Lee would do shit like on his own. Lee would do theme shoots. Like there's like I remember a one that in particular because I know Velvet will sometimes still sell photos from this. It was a non-impact shoot or TNA shoot, and it's something Lee did with like a bunch of the girls, and I forgot which one it was, but like that was
That
a
was
Lee South project. That was it.
that was whatchamacallit? Um, I think that was Christy because Christy started the Knockouts website. So I believe that was something with Christy.
But there was
Um,
also something I know Lee particular because it was a completely a Lee South thing,
no, yeah,
and
Lee did all the shooting for that, but I believe the reason they were able to do that is because that was funded by Christy.
mm,
So from what I heard, that was like Christie was like the main like driving force behind that, and that makes sense because she did that project with Gail and Lita.
yeah, oh yeah, that never got
So
off the ground, did it? Unfortunately.
it didn't it you know what it hit they dropped it right when COVID hit. It was like
Mm.
right before and then COVID hit
Yeah, what was it called
and
again? What was it called?
kayfabe.
Was it K-Fan?
I think it was called kayfabe.
I know they had like Sahadi was even part of it. He was gonna be the producer on
Sahadi,
it.
yes, Sahadi was producing, but
They had some
um,
heavy hitters involved in this thing. Like this was gonna be a pretty big project if it got off the ground. And it still might,
this
right?
is
It's still
kayfabe.
this is kayfabe, yeah. It
That's what
still
it
could.
was.
It still could. I don't know how much um people understood because if you watch the trailer, it was a little confusing on what they were going for. But I think it has room to grow into something. Interesting concept though, but it could still get off the ground when things resume.
Yeah, I think that they might redo it. It was just bad timing
Yeah.
because
Oh yeah.
that first month nobody was buying anything. Nobody was spending money. Everybody was just like, wait, we don't know what's gonna happen, so nobody was taking any risks.
Oh yeah. I mean, no one knew what life was gonna bring, man. Everyone was scared. Let's buy toilet paper and fear, and we're good. Fuck. Like I mean, what the hell to do at that point? So yeah, I can see why things are a little stuck. But no, but Lee South, man, he was one of the OGs of like themed shoots. I remember he did a lot of that theme shit when nobody at the time, early mid 2000s, nobody was doing theme shoots,
No.
uh, especially for the girls and stuff. And um, I just was like, man, that's pretty cool. So yeah, I'm glad he's still around, man, because he was very progressive at his time. Definitely one of the pioneers of that kind of production that ushered in the 2000s. So that's cool. It's very cool. No, I think it's a great credit to you guys, production crew, and just you guys hustling to keep things working. Like you said, I'm glad like guys like Ian are back out there as the smaller indies open back up. Ian was a big part of legitimizing a lot of smaller indies with their photos. So he's been on there, I've seen. So it's been nice to get people some
We're just
semblance of
we're all
normality.
just trying to make indie wrestling not look like indie wrestling. That's all it is. That's
Yeah.
that's the goal. That's been the goal. That's what
Jesus.
everybody tries to do. That's what Watson tries to do. That's what Mouse tries to do. That's what Ian tries to do. We all
I
we just don't want indie wrestling. Indie wrestling doesn't need bad photos.
I look back. So I've been doing the history post for AAW as people might see, the On This Day in AEW history. So it involves me going back into the archives and getting stuff from like Liam O'Donnell, Saul. Oh, who was the other guy? Not Saul. What the hell's the other guy's name? What the hell was that dude's name? I was like, out with the ponytail. What was his name?
Buddy. Sam.
But Sam LaMancha, yeah. Sam, Liam, and then what was the other girl's name? Angela. I think her name was early on.
Zia?
Angela Calloway was her name. But I found her. She was like early days AEW. She did a lot of the title photos and stuff in like Berwyn Heels Club. So I found her, and I just like seeing, and obviously at least there was some consciousness of getting those photos. But man, I wish there was more focus on documentation back in those days. Because like, yeah, people had them, but like early days, man, it's like damn near impossible to find documentation of early days shit. And I've been struggling to find. I've been kind of scraping.
Now you have 20 to 30 photos each match.
Oh, I remember telling Danny. I said it's funny. I said from 2017. Actually, no, 2018 you started shooting, right? Like late 17, you have personal shit up.
Late 17, yeah.
I was like, basically 2018 to 20. I'm like, I have nothing to worry about. Like those are all documented, without a doubt. I at least have that, but man, fucking prior. And I will give credit to guys like Liam who were there for every show, and Sam who did get a lot of the shows down for AEW especially. I do at least have some, but man, prior to 2013 is a fucking struggle. I've been able to pull some, but it's a struggle. Just having like for example, the wherewithal. You're very good about belt shots. You're just like, okay, I need belt shot. I need to get a ton of shots in the ring of a belt change. I need to get the promo pick when that's done, prior done, whatever. So there's a lot of focus on, hey, I'm going to make sure the title win is documented. How important those are? Because that's a huge part of like when you go through history posts, people usually use the reason titles are always so important in wrestling is like they're pinpoints. You can always remember what era a company was in based on who the champion was. So it's like you can pinpoint company flow and mood based on title. So it's so important to have title picks. And man, it's like, God, I'm like scraping. It killed me that. Go ahead.
No. Continue.
It killed me that because like, so the first 3 AEW title wins, for example, it's Ego Anthony, and then Scarpone beat him at some point, and then Ego wins it back. So there's no win. There's no photo of the first one at all. None. Like nobody fucking took this picture. And I'm like, how do you not, right? How do you fucking not just take this picture? Scarpone was able to get us one of his promo photo. And then the third one, like the Ego winning it back, I was like, there's no photo. There's a photo of him in the Berwyn Times paper, which like he took a picture of a newspaper and sent it to me. But there's no formal promo photo. And I'm like, fuck. So then I'm like, okay, let me scrape the video. And this is 2005 DVD quality, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm literally screenshotting the fucking video to get a picture. But again, I look back at production, right? Nobody's aware of hard camera. Nobody's like focused on taking, like, now guys are so much more conscious of like pose for the hard camera. Got a belt? Pose for the hard camera. Get that shot. It's so important because like I've seen you ringside, and you'll tell the guys, look at me, pose here. But like you'll tell the guy to look at you because you know that shot's important. Like you need to get that shot.
So this is where I'm going to chime in, and this is where I was going to chime in earlier.
Go ahead.
So at Impact, I get a little bit extra leeway. So if I miss a shot, or if like they hold up the belt really fast and it's like they go right down, I'll like we'll be done. I'll be like, yo, I need the shot. So the shot of the Motor City Machine Guns winning the titles, that was not a live shot.
Was That was a
That
retake.
shot that has been like used everywhere. That was like, hey guys, can you just hold it up real quick? Um, there was because I like to get the winners, like the winners being getting their hands held up.
Yeah.
Moose, there's like a Moose shot when he first had the title at Rebellion that they
Mhm.
used. There was a shot a few weeks ago that I had Spencer reshoot. It was like TJ and Follower on the ramp. I was like, guys,
Mhm.
can you just recreate this real quick for me? So the so they pretended like they were hurt and stuff like that for me.
I mean,
So I had
sometimes you
him.
gotta do it, right? That's just
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, if I have the time, like, um, that EC3 shot
which
of
one?
him walking in the dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was completely like that was all done. That was all directed by me. I was just like, yo, step right here, the light's hitting your face. I was like, let's do this. So the good thing about these close set tapings is I do have that freedom to make sure I get that perfect shot.
Yeah, because you have gotten some great shots during this because you're able to at
Mhm.
least retake a few and
I'm able to direct, and then what's good is so I sit on hard camera. The first time I was on the side, because the camera crew, they I mean we okay, so like these guys, a lot of them I met for the first time because we had like a completely different camera crew than what we normally would run with. So
hmm
they didn't know me too well. They didn't know how if I was clean, you know what I mean? Like they don't know me. So it was
yeah.
understandable. So I had to be far away from everybody. So I was on the side the first time. Then the second time, Sahadi was like, "Can you be on the other side, opposite of the or on the same side of the jib cam?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "You know what? Let me just try to sneak." I just snuck down by hard camera, and now hard camera's normal, so it's very easy for me to direct for certain poses that I need because
hmm
I'm off camera completely. And I'll be like, yeah, I need this. Or what I'll do is like for the rascals, I do the little rascal sign. I'm
hmm
like, yo, I need this real quick. And then they know if I'm doing a direction, I need it for something specific, and they'll know they'll see that photo.
As I've seen, some guys are way better at picking up on it than others.
Yeah.
Like there's some guys who get it. They're like, okay, cool, pose. You know, like this is because they see the value in it too, right? Like the guys who are smart about it know that it's like, hey, I'm gonna get that picture and I'm gonna be able to use that picture for my
hmm
shit. So
Saban
make
does
it
it
look
all the
good.
time with the title belt now, if you notice.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He does that title belt shot. He loves it. So I always get that one for him. Like there's certain people that like specific shots. And I try to get, and what I've also tried to do is get, because I'm seeing the same people obviously 3, 4, 5 times in a taping, or I've seen so many people. We're in the same building, so everyone's doing the same poses because everything's in the same way. So I've tried to shoot entrances from different angles.
hmm
Kimberly's is a good one that you'll start seeing. I've just changed up the angle of how I've shot her on her pose. I know when specific wrestlers are getting to certain areas. Just trying to get that solid look
hmm
for them. I just try to make it different. That's why none of the albums have really been too similar to one another because I try to move depending on who I'm shooting because I have like a match list, so I'm like, okay, I need to do this, 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 and I write down little notes and stuff for myself just to try to keep things fresh so it doesn't look all the same, so it doesn't get stale.
Yeah. That's cool, man. That's cool. It's
Yeah,
been as a fan of that product and watching it so closely because I
you're a fan of
review it.
Impact?
Yeah, right. Who would
Holy
have
shit, what a revelation.
who would have thought? Who would have thought?
Who would have thought Trent Zubiri
Just
is a
dedicating
fan
7
of
hours a
Impact?
week.
Dude, I think you talk about Impact more than you watch Impact at this point.
um, no, we've kept busy. I gotta say though, the that podcast, Total Nonstop Impact, has
You
grown so
killed it.
exponentially grown during the pandemic too. I mean, we
Exponentially.
exponentially.
There you
We've
go.
what? Why? What did
You
I
said
miss?
you forgot the D. On that first one, you said exponentially.
It is exponentially.
I thought it was I thought it's exponentially.
No, exponentially.
See, I fucked up. I'm the stupid one here. I'm the
Um,
stupid one.
but we've grown so much doing that, and then it's just like and so we've been watching it so closely, as a result, obviously, because of what we do with the main show review and then explosion and even the fucking throwback. But just we're so involved in the product to see to pay attention to every nook and cranny of it has been really, really fun to watch how they've done it and been so unique doing it. And I've enjoyed it, man. I've seen a lot of cool shit come out of that company, especially because they're one of the small ones. I mean, they've they have fallen into a different style and a regime and a whole new approach to the company that they have to be creative, and I feel like they have been extremely progressive in making sure like they stand out whatever way they have to do it. They're like, we're gonna fucking be unique and stand out here. And it's been pretty fucking awesome to watch. I've been really enjoyed how much time and dedication that team has put in, and I'm sure you work closely with them, so you see it. Like they really have made a name for what this is now, and they're turning this into a unique style onto themselves, which I admire that. I really admire that.
Yeah, it's everybody's had to adjust. This has just all been adjusting. Some
Yeah,
people enjoy it. I've talked to some people. Some people are like, I don't mind this at all.
I gotta imagine some people do like it. I gotta imagine that they're starting to get used to it too a little bit. Because after a
Yeah,
while, it's starting to feel normal. I'm sure.
yeah,
Because I mean, you're getting used to not seeing fans, feeding off your coworkers rather than like fans and an audience, performing for television, performing for your bosses a little more closer. Like it's a lot, man. It's a
yeah.
lot. But it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right, let's talk about something else. Let's talk about you had to Tessa's wedding. We don't
So
spend too much
yeah, I
time on
went
this.
to no, yeah, yeah. So went to LA, visited some friends out in LA, um, and then went down to Tijuana. Like I literally had a vacation where every day had travel. Like I'm a horrible person. I'm a piece of shit. Because I literally had a day. I had travel every day I was on vacation because I was on the West Coast for 4 days. One day was traveling to LA. I mean, I got to LA early, so
Hmm.
I really don't care about that first day. I mean, I was up all day. I was up
Yeah.
from 5 a.m., 5:30 a.m. Central Time. No, 5 a.m. Central Time to 2 a.m. West Coast Time. It was brutal.
Jeez.
That first day was brutal, and I
I
slept like a
bet.
fucking baby because I had Kelly weed in me, and it was fantastic. Um, and then um went down to Tijuana that Friday morning. Um, partied. It was dude. I released so much steam that I had built up and just wasn't able to do anything social.
Yeah.
And just, oh man, I was sloshed at that wedding. Like beyond blasted. Even Cage was like, "Bro, you good?" I was like, "Yeah, man, I'm fine. I'm
You
fine."
good?
Like Cage was worried about me. Cage called me. He was like, Cage went into like dad mode on me, and he was like checking up on me, making sure it was good. He's a good brother. I love Cage. Cage is always, me and Cage go far back. So even before I was shooting and shit like that. So we keep in contact pretty well. Um, and then yeah, partied with Jordan, Gale. A lot of people. Moose showed up like he was fucking on the show of a different world. It was fantastic.
I saw that. Yeah.
We saw Moose's outfit and I was like, my God, Moose. I was like, did you wear this on TV? He goes, yeah. And I was like, you fucking piece of shit. I love him.
Yeah, this is cool, man.
Um,
What a dude.
Moose brought his wife Reese. Reese is a fantastic lady. You've seen her on the photos and stuff like that. I love chatting with Reese.
I met her at Hard to Kill. We got to talk to her in Dallas. She's super
Yeah.
nice.
Dude, she's awesome, and this was like the first time I've seen her since Hard to Kill. So
Yeah.
we were catching up, and then Moose was like, we're like, get the fuck away from us, Moose. Me and Reese are talking here. Like,
Yeah, super nice lady. Also
yeah,
very
dude,
tall.
she's very tall, but dude, she's literally like, I don't know how the fuck Moose landed her because she's way too good for him. I said that right now. I was like, Moose, I'm like, how the hell did you get this perfect of a woman? Like, for real, dude. She's way
And,
too good for you.
and Moose is difficult, as we know, as people say.
Moose is a man child. He's a straight up man child, and I love him for it.
Moose
Except
can be
Boos. Every Eagle Maniacs know this. We call him Boos. We go
Boos.
Boos because we boo. We don't like Moose. Kayfabe. We don't like
Keep it.
Moose.
Keep it. That's awesome.
But
Moose
yeah.
is, that was good. So you got a bag, a little vacay in there too, which is nice.
Yeah, and then partied. I got stuck at the Mexican border. Okay, getting into Mexico, it's like going through a fucking drive-through. You're in it, and then getting back into the U.S., it's like the fucking CIA is what did you do? What did you buy? How long were you in Mexico? What state are you from? Why are you going back up to Cali? Why are you in Cali before you got to Mexico? What do you like, dude? All these questions. Did you buy meats? Did you buy products? Can we check your trunk of your car? Like all these different questions. And then I also saw the Mexican cartel cut through. It was dope.
Jesus.
It was a lot. Dude, but the drive to LA, but like the overall drive, so easy. It's literally one road.
Yeah, it's one road. I've
Oh,
never
it's
done it.
fantastic.
I always meant to do it. Been to LA several times. I've never done the trip, and I have family in San Diego, and they keep saying, just come to San Diego. We'll go to Tijuana for a day or whatever. And it's
Yeah,
definitely on the list. Something to do
the
on my
fact that
list for
I'm
sure.
able to say that I road trip to Tijuana to go to a luchador's wedding,
Is
like
Daga a
what the
luchador? I wouldn't consider Daga a
yes,
luchador.
Daga is a luchador.
Is he a luchador?
100%. Just because he doesn't have a mask?
I guess
What
so.
what what makes is luchador a style or is luchador a look?
It's a style.
Because if Rey Mysterio wrestled like Stone Cold Steve Austin,
He wouldn't
he
be a
would be La
luchador.
Parka.
What?
He
If
would
Rey
be
Mysterio,
he would be current La Parka.
I don't know, man. I don't feel like Daga doesn't do lucha style wrestling though. He just
Daga
wrestles.
does Daga is a hybrid between a luchador and a fighter.
Okay, let me
Like he
ask you
does a
this.
lot of MMA based stuff in he's a good technical wrestler.
Okay, let me ask you this. Was Eddie Guerrero a luchador?
100%.
You really would consider him? I just consider him a
100
wrestler who happens to be of Mexican descent.
No, dude. Dude, are you telling me that Eddie Guerrero's style um has not influenced Mexican style wrestling?
I always felt that Eddie, even in his younger days, he was a little more high flying in the younger days, but he always wrestled like a heavyweight, even though he wasn't a heavyweight.
He
He
wrestled like a
wrestled like
heavyweight towards the end of his career, but if you, dude, you look at through all that the early, like, I'm talking like you go through ECW, his WCW run, and his early
oh,
WWF
no
run.
doubt, no doubt, no doubt. I'm not denying that.
He
I just
wrestled like a heavyweight. The thing is, his most popular part of his career, he wrestled like a heavyweight because he was fucking wrestling Brock Lesnar and JBL and John Cena.
I just for some reason, even WCW, he always wrestled like 'cause Eddie was not a tall guy. He was like 5'7", and but he always had that bigger presence style. What the way he wrestled, he always wrestled like he was.
That was his personality.
What's what I'm saying? Like he always wrestled like he was 6'3". He always like had his personality, the way he carried himself. Like I never thought of him as a smaller lucha guy. I always felt like he just came off like always like a heavyweight style to me. It's interesting though. I had this debate about Daga before with somebody, I can't remember who. Now that I'm reminded that we're talking about it. Um, but it's kind of an interesting debate because it's always a split crowd on it. Because he doesn't do a lot of lucha moves. You know, he kind of wrestles a standard type of style. And
He was very adaptive.
Yeah. I wonder what's going to
And I
happen with
think,
him. What's going to happen with him? He's still under
well, Eddie
contract.
Guerrero has passed away.
Yes.
I don't know if you know this.
uh, you said it the exact way that Vince announced it on the death show. On the show that like the Monday's like, Eddie Guerrero has passed away. Oh no,
Eddie
Eddie Guerrero
Guerrero
has
has
died.
passed away.
I was like, wow,
Well,
really?
we
Okay.
are gonna give Vicky Guerrero money for the rest of her life, and we're gonna lie about that eventually when we don't give a shit.
Just
What?
the way like the show literally opened with Vince going, Eddie Guerrero has passed away. Like, oh shit, okay.
Scheiße.
Not even like a sorry reports. Most of you might have heard, nothing like that. Cold ass Vince, just chill Vince. And then yeah, Vicky Guerrero never left. Whatever
Wild.
happened to her? Where's she now?
She is actually a manager in AEW with Nyla Rose.
She is.
Yeah,
She
dude,
is up
she's
there?
fantastic.
I gotta give something to Vicky Guerrero. How about her? The wife who has zero prior experience, who turned into like this fucking monolith of a star out of nowhere. Like, what the fuck? Like, who could cut promos? Who could know character? Like, where did that all come from? Like, just from Eddie, like just living with Eddie, man. Who knows? But crazy how she just developed into something. Gotta give it to her. Definitely gotta give it to her. But that's interesting. Yeah, I wonder what's going on with Daga. Tessa obviously is gonna end up somewhere else, I'm sure. But that's cool, man. You got to see everybody. You got a little vacay out of it. That's
Yep.
good. What else is going on? AEW has announced news. All the news just said AEW Alive is the hashtag. And it's at any day now. So stay tuned on that, everybody. I know Freelance is doing something. Warrior, obviously. So let's talk the Warrior. We'll close it out with the Warrior stuff. So we got
Yeah,
Warrior
so
announced what stadium shows, right? 3 of them.
Stadium Series, yeah, for the next upcoming 3, not tomorrow, or today when this drops, but starting next Saturday on the 12th, the 19th, and the 26th, there will be show on each day. Stadium Series, lot of talent between AEW and
Lot.
Impact on there.
A lot
some
of
good
names.
Some good
Names.
matchups. Lance Archer versus Rhino got
Right?
announced.
I saw that. A lot of names. My question is, right off the bat, though, why are they not running into October, which is like homecoming month, usually where they do games on those fields, obviously during October. Why not do October? Was there a reason that they did not want to do October?
Because it has to be outdoors.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. They play football outdoors in October.
Yeah, but it's different, and do you know what it was? It's because school's starting to get back into full force.
Yeah, true.
And whatchamacallit. So they just they were able to, and they want to focus on school, honestly, because they're still, it's all staff, like school staff who works on this. They really wanted to focus on the school year.
True, yeah.
And they're not gonna run anything until the weather gets better, and they didn't want a potential snow out. So
good call.
it's September's still good weather. It's before any really bad colds come through, because we've had some cold Octobers.
Yeah, it's risky with definitely risky when it comes to October. You're right, could go either way, especially because you're outdoors. It's fucking cold weather. Yeah, you can't risk that. I can see that. That's cool though. I mean, they are definitely. They have the advantage of having the field, and they're using it to their advantage, man. And they definitely are pulling all the stops, man, on this one. That's insane, the talent they got for this. It's just nuts what they've been able to pull out for this. So that's kind of anchoring Chicago right now as Warrior.
It really is. I think it's fantastic, and um,
Is the idea though, like that last September one, like that's it? Like are they gonna try indoors? Has that been mentioned?
I mean, not. I mean, I think with being in a school, they're not trying to risk anything.
Yeah, because they have more risk that anything happens in the school. Now here's the other
Hmm.
thing. Let me ask your opinion on this. This is
What's up?
completely different, but kind of related.
Okay,
If this supposed vaccine comes out by November, as they're
November
saying,
9th.
November 9th, right? They're saying no, I don't.
When's the
What did you
election?
like?
November 8th, right? November
The
9th, we're gonna have a cure
oh
regardless
yeah,
of
of
whoever
course.
wins or loses.
I've been saying it's going to disappear the next day. So, but let me ask you a question. If that comes out and people know that, hey, you know what, there is a vaccine, it's out. Do Because the idea is like you can't force everybody to take the vaccine, but the idea is that knowing there's a vaccine and people will start getting it, you cut your numbers, and obviously like that's when people start feeling like, okay, well, cool, the risk factor shortens. Do promotions like Warrior run a December show? You know, like or would you feel it's right for a promotion to say, okay, cool, vaccine's out, it's floating for a month, everybody's gonna bum rush to get it, the numbers obviously cut, the risk factor cuts. Should companies run a show in December indoors?
If numbers are down in general
Yeah.
and they do it during a winter break where kids will not be in school like for a week, sure. But like I think at the end of the day, Warrior Wrestling is a school before they're a wrestling promotion, and there's nothing wrong with it. That's not even like a slight, like everything they do is for those kids. Like
Which, yeah,
they
and they're
they
pretty open
used to
about
have
that.
kids as part of production. Like they made it as a project for them. Like everything was done for the kids. All the money is raised for the kids.
Do it for the
They
kids.
they give less fortunate kids an opportunity to get a better education without costing their families.
Hmm.
Remember, that's what Warrior is about, is to help provide that. It's just another stream of revenue to help these kids out. And if the kids are dead, you can't help them. So,
If the kids are dead, you can't help them. I think you're right.
uh, so
uh,
honestly, it's just, can you do it safely for the kids in a way where they are not risking contamination? We don't even know what's going on now. I mean, because we haven't been through really too much COVID with snow. I mean, we had those first few weeks, but there
yeah,
was like, honestly, that's when the numbers were dropping a little bit, is when everything was cold because everybody would stay inside on purpose.
yeah. I mean,
So
the thing is, it all comes down to people peace of mind. When you tell people there's a vaccine, the peace of mind kicks in. It's like, okay, cool. My risk goes down because less people can float around with it. Obviously, then less people walking around with it is the equivalent of people staying inside at that point. Less that, numbers go down, they continue falling, blah blah blah. So obviously that's where that comes in. But it's more like, I'm thinking more like peace of mind. Like, let's say it's a month old, right? Vaccine's a month old. Do people push the? Because I mean, look, you saw some promotions started pushing the envelope quick. All right, cool. We'll still do indoors, but we'll limit it. Now it's like, cool. Now we'll do 200 people, 300 people. You know, it's like, do they start right away the second a vaccine gets announced? And part of me thinks, yeah, I think that they're going to do that. I think a lot of promotions and other events, not just wrestling. I think events will start saying, okay, because in my opinion, my idea was that the second the stores stop requiring the mask, that's when you start seeing the shift into events again, because theaters are open.
I think stores will be the last ones to take away,
You think
just
so?
because of just because of the amount of people that walk through stores. I think stores will be the last thing to get rid of masks, in my opinion. Out of everything, it'll be masks. I think masks will be mandated at stores for a long time. I would say at least a minimum of another year.
Really? That
Yeah,
long?
yeah. People are
Wow.
fucking dirty.
Well, people were fucking
I
dirty
love,
before this shit.
I love masks. I work retail. I love masks. I
I,
fucking love it.
I'll tell you what. In some cases, I wasn't minding it. In certain things, like grocery store, I'm like, yeah, put your fucking mask on. You sneezing all over my goddamn potatoes? Fuck you, you know? I don't
My
need this dirty
potatoes.
shit. Yeah, everybody in the fucking vegetable department wiping their nose and touching my goddamn lettuce. Like, yeah, I know I wash it, but I don't need to know that you fucking snotted all over my shit. You know, like, grocery store, keep it on. Going into fucking Home Goods, like whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Once that's cool, like it's fine. Grocery though, I don't care if it stays for fucking grocery. Keep it on that. But there's some people who are like, man, keep it on for wrestling, fucking dirty ass fans. Like, keep that shit on. People,
Dirty.
we've all seen some dirty people come to shows.
Yeah, dude.
I saw an entire rant somebody did about how to perform oral hygiene on yourself before you go to wrestling shows for the sake of your fellow fan. Please. Fuck.
Fuck.
But fuck. Oh my god, are you kidding me? Like, I have smelled some of the worst vile things in my life at wrestling shows. Like, I thought people were bringing dead cats into fucking shows. Fuck.
But yeah. Whatchamacallit? Like, I don't mind the masks at work. I
Yeah.
appreciate it. I think it makes it's less just because of how many different types of people I see. I don't know where these people have been.
How about at wrestling shows though? Would you want to keep wearing it?
Yeah.
Like, going forward, like, you just okay with, like, yeah, I'd rather just stay clean. And then when I'm
I don't care. Like, I'm completely, even if there's not a mask mandate, I think I'm gonna be wearing a mask going forward.
that's what I was getting at. I'm like, I feel some people are gonna keep this going forward,
Mm-hmm.
just for the sake of, like, hey, it's kept me clean. Like, it's kept me, like, away from other germs.
All I can say is I have not been sick in the slightest this whole summer.
Exactly. And it's one thing I've been asking a lot of, and obviously I'm never going to get an answer on this, but I've kept asking. I said, how are the numbers for, like, colds and regular flu and sniffles and sneezes? Like, I was like, I wonder if the sales of, like, Robitussin and NyQuil are down as fuck, because people
I
aren't
think
getting.
they're up right now.
Why? If people are wearing the mask and not getting, like, normal day-to-day cold. Obviously wearing a mask has to be cutting down people getting to the regular cold.
Yeah, but the virus itself is still spreading. Like, we're still getting a lot of people sick, and a lot of people are catching it because they don't know at first right away if they have it or not, or if they're just regular sick.
Yeah. But some people are passing it through. There's like, like The Rock said he had it, didn't realize he had it, tested, he's like, oh shit, I got it, and it was, like, gone. Apparently AJ Styles had it too.
Yeah, AJ said it yesterday. I think AJ announcing it on Twitch that he got COVID is the reason why Vince is banning Twitch and Cameo.
Are you serious?
I swear, dude. Twitch. He announces it Wednesday, and Thursday he bans it.
Yeah. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. But, like, I remember I told you a long time ago, my buddy Billy Botti, who does that, he's very connected internally to WWE. He's the one who breaks a lot of the business news that a lot of the dirt sheet guys don't break, like the Meltzers and all that with their nerd shit. Like, they don't break the real news. He reported it early. He's like, because he's very connected on the business end of WWE, and he was like, right off the bat, he got 30 people have it. 30 people have tested positive on the roster. Like, he knew right away. And it's obviously not AJ coming out and saying that he had it. I mean, he's like, he had it and passed it.
I just don't understand what's Vince's deal with people knowing or not. Like,
bro, this is the same guy who gets upset when people sneeze in front
I
of him.
know, and it's just so dumb. Like AEW's been like, yep, that person had COVID. They're out for the next few weeks. Like you were not going to see them. Like cool.
Vince is he's those alphas who just doesn't want to admit weakness. You know,
Yeah. Whatever.
that generation, some of the guys from that generation, they're like that. They don't want to admit any sort of weakness whatsoever.
So
And
weird.
that falls under that. You're weak. You got COVID. You know, it's like, oh, sorry, Vince. Couldn't really beat the pandemic when you made me go to work. You know? Fuck. It's fascinating though how that works out. But thankfully, people have recovered, which is nice, and people were recovering and getting back to things. But
Yeah,
I
man.
just like, but I really was thinking, I'm like, how many people are just gonna be like, yeah, you know, I'll keep it on. It's not hurting me at shows. Maybe I won't catch a cold from somebody anymore. You know, like I know
Yeah.
people, like you probably know people like this. Like we all know that we all have that one or two friends who like literally fucking catches a cold, even if they're like within a mile of somebody who has a cold. Like people just catch colds constantly in the
Yeah.
cold season. You know, like
What
go
this
ahead.
did teach me is to take better care of my immune system.
A lot of people, you know, when I'm talking to people and they were like, "Oh, fuck me, I never washed my hands this much." I'm like, "How did you not? Like you were
Ew,
that
that's
fucking
gross.
scummy?" Like I had a buddy who was telling me, he's like, dude, he goes, I would walk into a restaurant, I'd open the door, you know, with my hands, sit down, I wouldn't wash my hands before I ate, eat my fucking burger with my greasy hands after I'd leave. He's like, I wouldn't wash my hands. I'm like, why not? It's fucking
Ew.
gross as hell. Like, but see, that's one
Ugh.
guy, and so many are like him. He's one dude, and so many people are like that. I'm like, man, can you imagine the amount of fucking germs you would encounter on a daily basis from people who just thought that way?
Remember, there's people who don't wash their hands at the bathroom.
There's a lot. I see it.
Ugh. Ugh. Especially at airports, all the time.
It's so weird to me, man. It's so weird.
It should
But
be illegal.
it should be. It might be. After this shit, it might be fucking
Shit.
illegal.
Get a felony. Class
Like
2 felony.
tickets. Yeah, maybe people should get tickets for not washing their hands after the bathroom.
Can you imagine if we had cops sitting in the bathroom?
Well, the bathroom attendants will start handing out tickets. here's,
Sir, where's your hall pass?
here's your paper towel and your ticket.
That'll be $10.
That'll be $10. It's because it happened, man.
Thanks.
Thanks. That'll be $10. Yeah. So we'll see, man. I'm very curious how life pans out after all this.
Yeah, dude.
But I am with you. I think a lot of people will just prefer to wear them at shows. Like, you know what? I don't want to get sick. I'd rather not get sick from the people who come to these, because some people, and not just wrestling. I mean, I'm talking sporting events, man. There are some scum ass people at sporting events, baseball games, basketball games, you know, whatever.
Hell is scummy.
Hell, it's coming. So if there's people who are like, you know, I'll wear it when I go here. It's like I can't fault a single person for
Yeah.
looking out for themselves like that. But
So,
you know, it'll just be mixed crowd. They're never gonna tell us to take the mask off. It's gonna just be when the threat level is down. And this is what it is. It's threat level like it was during after 9/11. The threat level was what it was. It's similar to threat level, man. You're getting the same kind of daily threat level told to you. It's high. It's up. It's this. It's that. You know, like right now, Labor Day threat level was through the roof. You know, they're freaking out right now. So we'll see where it goes. I'm curious where we all end up on this. But at the end of the day, when it comes back to wrestling, I think you're gonna see promotions even continue to provide sanitizer. I don't think that's a bad idea. You know, have it at the front desk. People check in, provide sanitizer. Maybe, I know wrestling's big on cramming a shit ton of people in the building, and it will eventually get to that again. But maybe we start coming up with better ways to configure the room. You know, now obviously you can't do 6 feet spacing because you'll fit nobody, but you configure the room a little differently. You start maybe putting in some air purifiers or put fans in. I mean, and these are all just ideas I'm just coming off the top of my head, but I think there's going to be progressive ideas about tight knit spaces with a lot of people, and none of them are going to be sure shot perfect, but people will be thinking about them more than they ever have.
Yep, so, I agree.
Anything else you want?
Everyone's gonna be more. No, I think everyone's just gonna be more conscious going forward. That's all.
That's fine with me, as long as people wash their goddamn hands, scumbags.
Wash your fucking hands, you fucking mongoloids.
Seriously, wash your fucking hands. Like, what is wrong with people? Wash your goddamn hands.
But yeah, we got Warrior next week, and yeah, we'll talk. We're gonna get back into these weekly things. I think now that we have shows coming back and we have a little bit more to talk about. So,
can I also just say I miss Nate? You know, Nate.
Dude.
Yeah, can we talk about that real quick?
Fuck Nate.
Fuck you, Nate.
You fucking garbage piece of shit. Nate went to Maine, guys. Who the fuck goes to Maine?
People who are from Maine originally.
Nate sent us mixed signals with those pictures.
Oh my God, can we mention what those pictures were? So let me set this up. So Nate and his wife moved back to Maine. Obviously the pandemic kind of kicked the ass. You know, Nate's also an actor by trade, and when theaters are closed, that doesn't work for an actor. You know what I mean? And wrestling, for that matter. So a little tough for him at the time right now. So he's kind of doing a little reset back home. So set that up. Now the mixed signals. Talk about it.
Hold on, I'm pulling. I need to pull up the pictures for accuracy on this.
It was so heartbreaking. Heartbreaking to see those pictures.
Okay, so the first picture, the sign says State Line, Maine, Vacation Land. Cool, Vacation Land means you come the fuck back. Then the next picture he sends us says Maine, welcome home, the way life should be. Which one is it, Maine? Which one is it? Are you Vacation Land? Or are you home? You can't be both.
My exact words to Nate were, vacation means you eventually come back, so turn your ass around right now. You fuck. I do miss him though, man. Definitely not going to be the same without Nate here, especially at AAW shows for me. That's where I see him the most. Well, no, not even the most. Nate and I would get Sunday morning coffee, tea, and grits. That was the thing we did. So I'm going to miss Nate for that a lot. I got to see him off, and I hope he does come back, and he's going to listen to this, I'm sure. Well, Nate, we do miss you a lot. You're my favorite referee in the whole wide world, so I hope you come back.
Like ever.
But, we'll see as things change, as life shifts back. Who knows what can happen? So staying positive, waiting for our boy to come home, or back to this home. Nate, we miss you. We love you. We know you're listening.
We love you, buddy.
He's going to comment on this and be like, why'd you guys say all that? Stop putting me over. Nate hates to be put over, guys. So definitely.
You, Nate. Screw you.
Yeah, screw you, Nate. Everybody tweet him at Ref Nate. Tweet him at Ref Nate Speckman and put him over. Make him uncomfortable.
Yeah.
All right, let's close it up, man. It was good to get back on here. So let's wrap it up, Basil. So you got you got new photos, obviously. Do your Impact photos go on your website too after they go on Impacts or no?
I have been very lazy about that this summer because they've been posting it on the website. I've been trying to push traffic to the website. I'm gonna spend one day and just backlog it all up, and I'll get them up on there. No worries.
All right. So tell people where they can find that website for other stuff in the meantime.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at BZ. That's a B, 2 E's, 4 Z's, and a Y. And you can find all my photos at basilmahmood.com.
Very nice.
And where could they find you, Trent?
You guys can find me at Trent Zewberry on Twitter. And the show you can find at the BSB Show on Twitter and Facebook. Just type in the Backstage Boys podcast and it comes right up. Very easy to find. Our Instagram, though, because so I think the other one got shut down, I think. But We have an official Instagram. It's now, next week is now. And the official Instagram is the BSB Show Pod. Slow to update. I have some backlog stuff I'm going to put on there, but there's a couple pictures on there, so you'll know it's us for sure. It's the official one. So the BSB Show Pod. Guys, the show is available on Apple iTunes or Apple Podcast, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, Spotify, and Basil. We have been submitted for a pilot program to Amazon, so that's going there. Amazon's got a podcast coming up. We're going there. So that'll be released pretty soon, hopefully. I'm not sure when. So that's coming up, and I think that's everything. Oh, with t-shirts, prowrestlingtees.com/Backstage Boys. Get your official BSB t-shirts. And Basil, we have a new one coming out very soon as well, which is dope.
I'm very excited to. I can't wait to show. I don't even want to hint to it.
No hints. We'll just let it release. But it is super dope. Very excited. I saw the mock-up today, and I am psyched. So, but in the meantime, you guys can get. We have 3 designs on the other one right now. We have the logo. We have the Team Cart T-shirts, and we have the BZB. Ooh, that's a cool name. I should name it the BZB.
The BZB.
The BZB is on there. So we have 3 on there right now.
Please buy shirts.
They're 20% off right now. Labor Day, so use a promo code. Labor.
I need a new lens, guys. This will help fund my lens. Well, yeah. So it'll help fund Trent's computer that doesn't work, and it'll help fund my lens that doesn't work, because apparently everything we buy goes to shit. So
everything breaks, everything dies.
Everything's stupid.
Everything's stupid. What else, Basil? I think that's everything, right? Shoot.
That's it,
Yeah, connect
man.
with us, guys. BSB Show on Twitter. Get a hold of us, guys. Just let us know what's up. Let us know what you'd like us to maybe discuss. I think we might have to do some specific topic type stuff. I do, Basil, I did want to do a referee centric episode with Nate, where he just discusses the ins and outs of like just being a referee, what it takes, the kind of the nuances of that. Nobody really focuses on the refs. I think it'd be a good idea. So
Refs are important.
We'll definitely get a ref show with Nate. I think it'd be a good idea. And then so we'll do stuff like that. But if there's anything else you guys want us to cover, let us know, and we will we'll definitely cover it. Until shows start really rolling again. But in the meantime, we'll do some reviews, recaps, previews, things like that. Previews never really draw, but we'll do some for content. But I think that does it, man. All right, guys. We appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out with us. This is the Backstage Boys, episode number 71. And we'll talk to you on 72. Later.
Bye.